Let's go on to our general consent calendar. So if you could pull that up, Jeff. I think Jeff is still driving. Are there any agenda items that board members would like to remove from the general consent calendar at this time? I think that's Jenny. Board Member Earl?
Yes, I would like number 3, the IC. I just have a question, and I apologize. I had written this down to get this answered ahead of time, and I forgot to do it. So for humoring me.
That's okay, Board Member Earl. Thank you for at least considering asking ahead of time. So, all right, then I don't see any other hands or removals. I would be seeking a motion, please. Board Member Cannon?
I move approval of the consent calendar minus item 3.
Thank you. A second?
Second, Hart.
Thank you, Board Member Hart. All right, any discussion to that motion? I still see 2 hands, but I think they're just remaining up. Janet, okay, good. All right, so the motion before the board is that the board approve the general consent calendar with number 3 removed. Please vote.
Oh.
I see that that is a unanimous vote. Board Member Straight, did you have a question?
No, I was just hitting the wrong buttons.
Okay, well, that's okay. That's all right. Thank you so much. So that vote was unanimous. Okay, so we'll go back to the one item that's removed. Board Member Earl?
Yeah, my question has to do with opportunities outside of maybe the Salt Lake County area, and the Provo area. In other words, are there opportunities for organizations down in Washington County or up in Cache County to be part of this this accessibility of resources and funding? I'm just wondering, and we may have had this dialogue before. It seems familiar, but I'm just wondering. I didn't see an expansion of any programs, so maybe if someone has just a minute, they could maybe address that.
So I don't know who's on the list, but who can answer Board Member Earl's question, please?
Vice Chair Belknap. My name is Melissa Mendenhall, and I'm the Elementary Science and STEM Specialist for USBE. IC falls under my purview, and I can answer that if you would like.
Thank you, Melissa. Go ahead.
Yes, so Board Rule R277-444 specifically calls out that to be an IC organization, you need to have a plan to visit every public and charter school for your grade level that's selected every 3 years. So every one of those is visited once every 3 years on a rotating basis.
So, okay, so when you say visited, like they have the ability to come up to the facility, or the organization goes down to them?
Go ahead, Melissa.
Thank you, Vice Chair. The organizations call and arrange with all of the schools, and they actually do outreach. They go to the school and provide it for every class that is in their grade level that they are servicing.
Okay, thank you. That helped to clarify that. Like I said, I remembered some dialogue about this, but I couldn't remember the details. I'm wanting to make sure the accessibility for all of our schools around the state. So thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Earl. Board Member Norton?
Yes, and thank you, Board Member Earl, for bringing this up, because this was a real problem that I had for many, many years. But I want to thank IC for the great job that we have seen in our public schools. Washington County is a long way away from the Wasatch Front, and yet every single year we see Discovery Gateway with the most wonderful outreach. Our students are doing hands-on science. The presenters are so well prepared. And then because of COVID, we've also had a wonderful opportunity to experience the Leonardo and Hogel Zoo through their outreach. They are not assigned to our grade level, but they have done some wonderful online field trips that are just fabulous. And that's been new the last 18 months. And I am just thrilled with the great equity that we are seeing across the state with access to these wonderful resources. Utah Symphony in the Arts is also doing the same thing and appreciate it greatly. So pass that on, please, Director Mendenhall.
Thank you, Board Member Norton. I agree, because the IC and the POPs do reach all our students across the state. Okay, so Board Member Earl, I'm going to come back to you. Do you have a motion for us?
Yes, I motion that we approve item number 3 on the consent calendar.
A second, Booth.
Thank you, Board Member Booth. So the motion is that we accept number 3 from the consent calendar. We have a motion and a second. I see no hands raised, so we'll take a vote, please. Sybil, I see that voting is unanimous. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Director Mendenhall, as well.